Hello everyone. I wanted to do a quick PSA kind of video. A little bit of and I just got a book in the mail that I bought on eBay, and I wanted to make a video because of what I just saw with this book. This is the fifth print of Strange Academy #1. So it's not a very valuable book, but I just wanted to collect it because it is #1, and it's just a kind of a black and white sketch variant, which I thought was cool. So I figured I'd go ahead and get it. This is a $10 book. It's really nothing special. But what I wanted to show on this is something that is very common that you're going to find with how you store your books. This came in to me, and it was on a board, a current board, in a current bag, like you see most comics in. They're against a board in a bag. And I want to show you why none of my books, and I have almost 4,000 comic books in these boxes. And I put towels up on there because my cats like to walk up on my books. And I don't discourage it. Yeah, but I have almost 4,000 comics. Every single one of them is done the way that I'm going to show you how you should store your comic books. Okay, I've already removed this book from this bag and board, and I'm doing it how I do my books. I have a current size bag that I put this in, but first I want to show you why I do this and why it's important to do this. You got a nice black cover on this, and if you will see, if I can get rid of the glare, see the color rubbed off on here? There's color rub almost all up this spine. Color rubbed off this. See the little bit right there? No, that's just an edge of tape. It's really bad towards the bottom. The color rubbed off. Right there. Really bad. Well, this isn't a particularly valuable book, so whatever. But if you look at this board, where this book was on this board, and this is the shiny buffered side of this board. It's not the rough, acidic side. It's the half, the half sprayed or whatever part of the board that is non-acidic. And look all around this board. Let me try to get rid of the glare. All on the sides of this board is black ink from that book. The whole border. I mean, it's the whole border of this book. The ink rubbed off on this thing. That's why my books, my new books that I buy from the comic shop, never touch a board. They never touch a board. They're always bagged in a bag and then put in a silver bag and board. Now I buy and I've said this a few times, I buy my bags and boards from this place called Guardhouse Collectibles or Guardhouse Holders. You can Google it, Guardhouse Comic Holders, something like that. And I get the wide silver bags and wide silver boards and current size bags, and I like to get the silver bags that reseal. The current ones, I don't get the ones that reseal just because I like to have control of how this is folded and taped. I don't know. I'm weird like that. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and get the tripod and hook the camera up, and I'll show you how this goes in here, how it looks, and all that. And then I'll go a step further and tell you how I put my books in my boxes and why I put them in the boxes the way I do, and how you should not put your books in your boxes. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we'll go ahead and I will put this book in this here. Goes down, just kind of, and I always date it. I put the date on there, and sealed. And that book is perfect. It's a bag in a bag. And you always put the shiny side of the board towards the book, because it is the non-acidic side. Yeah, but my books, and every one of my books is done this way. Every one of them. Now I'll grab a box and show you how you should and how you should not put and store your comic books in the box. Okay, so I got my box here. And I also think that the type of box that you use is also important. I have here, let me show you what I got. Oh, that box. Let me see if I can find a different box. Okay, this is a great comparison of two boxes. And the most common box that I find as a short box is this tall box, and it states that it'll hold up to 150 to 175 books. I avoid these boxes like the plague. The ones that I use are this size, and they hold up to 150 books. The reason why I like these ones over these is the corrugated material that these ones are made out of are like 2 times as sturdy as these. These are so flimsy, and they'll do this, and your books will shift and everything inside of these. And if you can see just the cardboard itself, let me kind of move a little bit. See the one on the left, how much sturdier that looks than this? This is like flimsy and just weak material. These boxes right here that I use, and every one of my boxes is that style of box. I don't have one that's this taller size box. Okay. I get these from a place I believe called Comics Equip. comicsequip.com. You'd have to Google it. And make sure it says holds up to 150 books. If it says 175, it's that bigger, less sturdy box. But these boxes right here do not bow or nothing. Your books are perfectly uniform in these, and they don't shift. So yeah, these are the boxes that you want. And now I'm going to show you how the best way to store books in one of these. And it's like this. A lot of places I've seen will say to have one book this way, put the next book down this way, and then this way again, and then the next one down, and so on and so forth. You know, like that. A lot of places I've seen say to do that, and I'm here to tell you right now, if you do that, you're going to ruin books. What happens when you do that is, say this one, especially if you've got those shoddy boxes like I told you where the books will shift, or you use Silver Age boards that do not fill out the box. That's another thing. That's another thing why the boards are so important that you use. A lot of the boards are short or Silver Age boards. It'll say it's a Silver Age board, but it really doesn't cover the whole box. If you notice how mine look right here, I use the same type of board. I use that guardhouse wide silver board. and it covers it, it's the whole length of the box, and that's what you want: a sturdy box, good bags and boards, and do your books this way, and you'll never have a problem with them. But if you do, going back to this, if you do put these this way, what will happen, and I know this from experience because this happened to me, I had about 10, back when I had about 11 boxes, I had all of my comics done that way, one this way, one that way. I had them all done that way. And I just so happened to go through my box one time and I found this issue. What was happening to some of my books, and it didn't happen to all of them, thank goodness, but some of them it did. And some of the books that it did do it too, they're just kind of not really valuable books, so I wasn't stressed out about it. But I went back through and I changed all of my boxes to this way that I do it. I took every comic out and I reorganized the whole thing. If you do this, if this if these do this a little bit like that, they shift, and you've got one book, or if it doesn't matter if they're lined up perfectly, if one of the books is shifted a little bit over this way inside and the other one is shifted this way a little bit inside of here, you will get a big nasty crease down the whole side of the book. Yep. I mean a pronounced big crease all the way down. It rolls the spine. So that's why don't do that. Do not put one down and one up and one down and one up. Put one of them in with the trade dress with the top of the book out, and then put the next one in with the top of the book down. Top of the book out, top of the book down. That way you're alternating the spine side, and your books will go up straight, and the board will always be keeping the book underneath of it flat perfectly. There. And then this one that way. This one with the trade dress up, top of the book in, top of the book out, top of the book in, and so forth and so on. And that way your books will go straight up without doing a tilt with all the spines to one side, and you'll always have the full length of the board flattening perfectly the book underneath it. So that is my PSA for the day. Look at this book, by the way. How cool is this? True Believers, yeah, reprint, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's my PSA on comic book care. Never have a book against a board. Always have it bagged and then bagged inside of a silver bag and board. And put them in your box this way, and use good quality boxes. That's it. Thanks guys, and happy collecting.